On a cold November morning in Ohio, Rukai sat in a courtroom awaiting her turn to speak. She was not there as plaintiff, defendant, or judge. She was not a witness to the crime, nor was she part of the legal team. Instead, Rukai was there as a mother, and as she patiently waited for the moment her voice could be heard, she prayed and gathered her thoughts one last time. She had been praying and gathering those thoughts for over 2 years now, waiting and preparing for this critical moment, and now it had finally come. This morning, she would be speaking to the men who murdered her son. Hi, I'm Garvin DeShazer, and this is your Daily Inspiration. The journey to this moment began on the night of June 28, 2015, when Rukai's son Suleiman, known as Sam, was walking home with a meal for himself and his wife. He had no way of knowing, when he walked under the highway overpass, that 3 young men were lying in wait for him there. We'll never know for certain what, if anything, was said, but surveillance video shows that one of the young men shot Sam in the head almost immediately. The 3 figures stole and divided Sam's food and money, then disappeared into the night. Sam was taken to the hospital after a bystander called 911, and Rukai rushed to his bedside. He held on for a while, but ultimately died with his mother holding his hand. She recalled later that she whispered to Sam, "Until I see you again," as her religion teaches there is no true goodbye. Rukai's grief remained her constant companion for more than 2 years leading up to the court hearing in November of 2017. In that time, 2 of the 3 suspects were found and charged. The 3rd remains at large, but the 2 on trial were Javon, who was 14 at the time of the shooting, and Valentino, his cousin, who was 17. Now one of the 3 suspects in her son's death was in front of her. He had just admitted in court to his part in the crime. With permission from the judge, Rukai was allowed to address the court and Javon directly. Rukai spoke for nearly 15 minutes, standing with loved ones on either side of her and holding a picture of Sam in his Navy uniform for Javon to see. It would have been easy, and, in some people's mind, justified, for her to unload all her hurt and suffering onto the young man. But that's not what she did. Instead, Rukai explained to Javon, "I don't hate you. I can't hate you. It's not our way. Showing Rama, mercy, that is our way. I'm doing this to honor my son, who would have given you everything if you had only asked for it, because that's the way I taught him to believe." She continued, "You were a baby, and you are still a child. My son's death was already ordained, but maybe the purpose is to save your life, because you are not going to be killed by this society." In a display of courage and compassion beyond what Javon or anyone else in the courtroom could have expected or anticipated, Rukai offered help from herself and her family to Javon, his mother, and his siblings. In her words, "I want you to be able to see light when you come out of that dark place you're going to, so that this cycle does not repeat itself again." At the end, Javon tearfully apologized to Rukai for what he had done, and she embraced him, his mother, and Javon's siblings in turn. What help Rukai and her family will be able to provide them in the future is not yet known, but when she walked away from the courthouse that day, Rukai knew she had honored her faith, her son, and herself by letting go of anger and vengeance and allowing a message of love and compassion into the world instead. Who or what do you need to forgive in your life? Are you carrying the burden of anger or the desire for revenge today? What is that emotional weight preventing you from moving forward? Several times throughout her testimony, Rukai explained the idea of Rahmah, or mercy, an important part of her Islamic faith. Whatever spiritual path you follow, can you recall a time when mercy was shown to you or someone you love? How did that make you feel? Wouldn't it be wonderful to pass that goodness on to another and shed whatever emotional baggage you might be carrying? As Rukai so clearly demonstrated, forgiving is for the giver. Can you affirm today, I am mercy and forgiveness? Thanks for listening. May your day, this day, be filled with love, laughter, and joy. Bye for now.
Hi, this is Scott Sampson, producer for the Daily Inspirations podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Want more inspiration in your life? Check out our blog for weekend stories of hope and uplifting news. If you've been enjoying the podcast, we hope you'll take a moment today and rate and review us and tell everyone in your circle so they can get the same inspiration that we hope you've received today. We have big plans for this podcast and we want you to be part of it. Visit dailyinspirationsandmeditations.com to contact us with your own inspirational stories or just to say hi.